Funimation, this amazing trash fire of a company, has been caught yet again altering the context of anime from Japan that they license, altering the context of that original intellectual property in their dubbed version. The anime that they have changed, this time the adorable Nekopara. If you don't know what this is about, it's an adorable anime. It's got cat girls, and it's about that. It's about cat girls. What more is there to say? It's perfect anime, flawless 10 out of 10. Just so we are all on the same page here to know, all of us are, if not already, all of us, most of us, and if not most of us, all of us will be after this. Here's an example from the Crunchyroll forums, a thread titled Thoughts on Funimation Changing Lines in Dubs. It's a little bit of a wall of text, so I'm going to just paraphrase it. The person, as the title says, asks for thoughts on that topic, Funimation changing lines and dubs, and they cite certain examples, for example, Hajimeta no Gal and Dragon Maid. By the way, this forum thread is from 2017, and people have been talking about Funimation changing the context of anime from as far back as 2015, if not earlier. So many people were talking about this that Funimation actually made one of the worst tweets ever in response to the massive criticism that people were giving to them. And this is one of the worst tweets that Funimation has ever made. Let's take a look. They write, "We at Funimation want to have an open dialogue with fans. We welcome your praise as well as your criticism and suggestions for improvement." Except they really didn't welcome that. At least that's the impression that I get, because they deflect everything and they try to act like they are the ones who have been wronged here, when that's not the case. It's the anime community that has been wronged. Moving on, they write, "As fans and members of the anime community, there will be things that we don't all agree on, and there is always room for discussion and vocalizing those viewpoints." Hold on a second, Funimation. Are you implying that y'all are fans and members of the anime community? Because I would put a big X to down on that one. From what I've seen, I don't think you care about anime at all. Therefore, I don't think you guys are fans of anime. For example, if you really like anime that much, Funimation, then why do you go out of your way to change the original context to what you see fit? It doesn't seem like you like anime at all. And don't even get me started with what your VAs have said to hundreds, if not thousands of people in the anime community. Spoiler alert, the things they've said aren't very good. Moving on, they say, "However, bad things of any kind are unacceptable and will be taken very seriously. There is no place for that in this community from any side. We are always listening and always striving to be better. Let's do it together." Funimation, what were you thinking writing that tweet and posting it? You didn't listen to any of the criticism at all. You deflected it and you tried to paint it out like you guys are the ones being wronged here, when it's the anime community having criticism for you, because we have a very genuine question. Why are you altering the context of Japanese anime when you are simply supposed to get a dubbed version so people can understand it? And yes, sometimes things won't correlate exactly from Japanese to English. However, that's not what's going on here. You are vastly changing the context to fit certain rhetoric that people at your company are a part of. As we have seen, this has been going on for around 5 years at least. And throughout those years, Funimation has lost more and more goodwill. Now look at them, 2019, 2020, being sued by one of the most well-liked people in the anime industry. Pretty much every post that Funimation makes on their community tab gets massively memed by the anime community. Because guess what? It seems like people don't like you guys very much. So Funimation, at what point do you think it will be that Sony decides to take a really long look at what's going on with your company? And they think to themselves, you know, when we acquired Funimation a few years back, we paid in part for goodwill, because goodwill is a part of accounting, and they see that you are obliterating said goodwill. What do you think will happen then? Maybe a little reshuffling of upper management? Maybe a little scrapping of a department? Maybe something even further than that? Okay, with all that said, now we are surely all on the same page here. And here is today's report. We have the adorable anime Nekopara, as you already know. This character is Vanilla, and she's in a little competition with this other character whose name is Coconut. And Vanilla is losing the competition, losing the little challenge that they're a part of. So Vanilla decides to take a more crafty approach and offers Coconut a riddle. And that's where things go wrong when Funimation gets involved, because, oh boy, you can't have jokes, can't have that. Here is basically the dialogue that occurs in the dubbed version. Vanilla says, "Pardon the interruption, but I have a riddle for you. Coconut says, huh, you have a riddle. Vanilla says, the first part, I can't even make out what she said, to be honest. But then she says, is a word meaning something shaped like a hand, fingers spread. So tell me, what would you call a person who is shaped like a hip? And Coconut thinks about it a little bit and responds with, a hip sumo wrestler. And then Vanilla says the answer is, of course, a hipster. And then she wins the challenge. For some more context, the challenge seems like they are both on a platform and they have to knock each other off. So Vanilla gives the riddle to distract Coconut. And then Vanilla knocks... Well, actually, Coconut just falls off because she answers the riddle and tries to go after Vanilla and slips and falls off the platform or whatever. So that's the scene. I'm sure you're wondering what the Japanese version is like, and let me explain that one. So the original dialogue has Vanilla delivering the answer to the riddle as Oshiari, which means acquaintance, although she adds a respectful O to make it sound like Oshiri, which means you're behind. So you can see the original pun was about that area, not hips, and nothing to do with hipster. The actual, the proper way this should be in English is taking the word acquaintance, and I got to be creative here. So, you know, Super Saiyan, of course you do. Take the first two letters of Super Saiyan, you got them, and now take acquaintance and add those two letters after the A. And that's how the pun should be in the English version. But instead, that's too much for Funimation. They can't have that. So they changed the whole thing to be about a hip and hipster, completely changing the context. And it's baffling to me, man. The original joke, the original pun, the original riddle wasn't even bad. The answer's not a big deal. Why do you feel the need to change that? It makes no sense. By changing it, you are upsetting way more people than if you had just left it. This sort of thing is just maddening to me. Whoever is at Funimation and thinks that that is too far, that joke is too far, you know what's too far? Altering that. Promoting that sort of censorship, that is way further than the little innocent riddle was. Look at this anime girl on screen from Nekopara. I think this is actually Coconut. So her hand, she's like, Funimation, this is your logic. It makes this much sense. It makes like no sense at all. And it really doesn't. And remember, this is the company who issued a statement saying that they are such fans of anime and they care about anime and the community so much. And here they are completely disrespecting anime and the community by trying to blatantly change things and like make people think that that's the original product. Funimation doesn't market themselves as, oh, yes, we dub anime, but we also change things that we think are not okay for our viewers. No, they market themselves like they are an honest company just doing their best to dub the anime and make it viewable to people who can't understand Japanese. That's how they market themselves. But that's not really what seems to be going on here, Funimation. Let me end with this. If you are curious about this scene, I have the dubbed Funimation version over on NyanNet for your viewing pleasure. I'll leave a link to this report in the description, and you can take a look at the report, take a look at all the information, and of course, also get this clip. Believe me, I would really enjoy playing the clip for you right here, especially because I have all the legal rights to be able to do that. This is about a 10-minute video. This clip is like 32 seconds long. This is a commentary, criticism, news, report video, and absolutely, it's in fair use. However, you can abuse fair use, especially on YouTube. It's very easy to do so. I don't know if Funimation would do that. I'm not stating that they would. However, in my humble opinion, when I look at how Funimation operates and how underhanded they are with certain things, I can't in good faith believe that they wouldn't do that either. So take a look at NyanNet if you like. Again, the link is in the description. We'll finish this video up with shoutouts to the kind of people who promoted the last two videos from yesterday. That's going to be Bunny, Deshawn, On the Brain, Weeb, Phantom, Shogun, DXDKJ, Intimidator, 0108, Lancaster, 13th Honey Badger, Meshi Kari, KJC, Coden X, Chaotic Keyblade, Annie May, Phoenix, Ishra, Mr. Anime 343, then we got Phantom, Dracathio, Great Awakening, Thomas, Meshikari, Don't Need Your Approval, On the Brain, TXDKJ, Deshawn, Dr. M, Gem Justice for Vic and Johnny, and Bunny again. We had a few people doubling up there. Thank you all very much. I hope you also enjoyed this one. If you did, consider sharing it, liking it, commenting down below, all the default stuff. Y'all know how this goes. If you'd like to take it a bit further even, consider becoming a sponsor via Patreon. link in the description, or a channel member via the join button. And that's all I have for this one. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time.